Alright, I just went live. We are going live again because this is an important issue. No digital smartphone passports. Listen, we got this little issue right now that's localized to today, to the next year, to last year, to next year. COVID 19. It's like, hey, let's all make this passport so that you can walk into most businesses and like prove that you've got this vaccine. Very short term, historically speaking. This is a thing that's going to last like a year at most. Hopefully less. I really hope so. You cannot put that shit on a universal computing one task Swiss Army knife device that everyone carries around with them because we are centralizing our entire lives around this single physical object. And that's very, very, very bad because if you make it normalized for one person to have one device and for that one device to mean everything about that one person, if you kill the decentralization of your identity across multiple pieces of plastic identifiers and you put them all on one device, and then you introduce that into the civil rights of walking down the street and entering a public business, you've literally condemned the entire planet, the entire free world, to a total cybernetic hellscape from here until forever. Do not do it. Okay, here's what I mean. Today, until in Ontario, the province of Ontario, here in Canada, for the next month, if you like want to go to a bar, which I want to go to a bar, I gotta pull out my photo ID. I gotta pull out my proof of vaccination. And I gotta say, hey, here's me, one piece of plastic. Here's my proof of vaccination, piece of paper. Let me into your bar. And they say, okay. Starting next month, that'll all be made more convenient in this open sesame device where I just pull out this phone and go, oh, and I wave it around and the QR code, and pretty soon the wireless thing will just let me just wave it around and get through. And I've learned that gesture. We're monkeys, okay? Humans are monkeys. We learn a gesture, and then through this procedure called mimesis, we just learn to do what other people do, and everyone gets used to waving their phone around, this open sesame gesture. And we walk down this in 5 years from now, if everything goes terribly, horribly fucking wrong, we're gonna walk down the street and just pull out our phone and wave it and be like, hey, I want to get into this place. Here's my total credentials and entire life and life passport. And yes, today we're starting the training on how to learn this motion, and that's the problem. The problem is the motion and the training of the human body, the training of all the individuals alive today. Right, today they're 15 years old. 3 years from now they'll be 18 years old. Today they're 7 years old. 3 years from now they'll be 10 years old. Today it's like 56 years old, and 3 years from now they'll be 59 years old. In 3 years, the entire human race will be totally enslaved by their fucking devices if we start normalizing the gesture of waving a device 5 times a day, 10 times a day to go about our shopping experience or our civil. Like, no. Okay, here's what we are. We're animals walking around on a physical planet. We walk through this planet and we go places, and we've got all these areas they're called public areas, and you can walk through a door into like a public area, and that's an open terrain. When you put a guard and a check, and you have employees like me checking everyone's papers, please, it's a massive inconvenience, but I'm checking your papers, please. If you, on your own, can walk through the door by waving the fucking thing on the sensor, and then you just walk in on your own, and then some people get disbarred because they haven't done everything the government wants them to do, that's a literal totalitarian nightmare. We are so close to that I can barely fucking even consider it properly, the horror of it, without much self-medication. So please do not introduce these universal devices. Computers are terrifying, and none of you understand them. None of you understand. Computers have been terrifying for 20 years, and they were terrifying 20 years ago, and then we forgot how terrifying they were, is how fucking terrifying they were, because everyone's fucking numb to what the universal device can do. Don't normalize computers as passes to get through exercising your civil rights. Pieces of paper. You want this temporary little COVID thing, and you want people to flash their fucking vaccine passport for the next 6 months, 12 months. Okay, give them a fucking piece of paper. Do not, whatever you fucking do, put a proprietary software fucking passport on a phone and normalize the gesture of waving phones, because people are consolidating their entire lives on these fucking things. And if you normalize waving your entire life in front of a sensor 10 times a day to do everything, you've literally cybernetized the planet and destroyed freedom for fucking the next million years. Don't do that.